heard. And it doesn't matter because even with their decision.
Just to let everybody know we are live.
No, we are live.
We are live now. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Candor Town Board meeting. We'll be getting started here in just a few minutes.
Maybe do a couple other things, so I just want to make sure that we get clarification in the future between, variances and property use, zoning and things like that, and. Right, but what he did.
Hi, Ange.
Do with code.
That's what I'm saying, so like, I would say that a third of the view would be something.
Right. It had nothing to do with zoning.
Hey, did that,
Yeah, so they shouldn't have even heard it.
Right.
Okay.
Dennis Whitaker ever contact you, Kevin?
No, we did,
Okay, I called him, gave him your number and,
Yeah.
said to connect with you so that you could figure something out, so that's all we can do, right?
Yeah.
Did you actually talk with Patty?
I left him a message.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want this?
No, I wrote it down.
Okay.
Because you told me first.
Yeah, that's right. After I found it, 5 minutes after the meeting was
He
over.
said he would comply. I talked to
I
him.
definitely caught you off guard
No,
there. Who's this?
That's the job of the zoning board.
No, I don't think so either, so.
Can you email me
So
the
we just
agenda
need to
for
let them
Tuesday
know
night,
that
because
we're not
Robin
gonna
never
do
sent it to
They
me.
don't interpret.
Or didn't you get it?
Yeah.
She had sent it, okay,
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
sure
the
if
code
you should.
officer.
I'll bother
Code
her,
officer.
it's just that you would be.
Bring a complaint against.
Well, you carry your phone around, and you just zip it off the
Day
phone.
before.
Huh?
Have the judge would make a
Yeah,
decision.
oh, that's what you do, that's
It
even
was a
better.
zoning issue, but,
The zoning wouldn't go in front of it.
no, exactly.
Right, that's what I'm saying, is the
Yeah.
code has their own.
If you guys-
process.
Are you ready?
Can we
Yeah.
start with a
Right.
prayer and
First,
a
like,
pledge,
yeah,
please?
yeah, I understand.
They have their own process.
Dear Lord, we ask that you be with this town board as we conduct the town's business tonight, and also be with all them families in the south that are devastated by their tornado damages. We ask you in this name, Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen.
Now the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right at the moment, we're open for privilege of the floor.
Yeah. I can bring it up in here.
If, anybody have anything to bring up right off the bat? If not, we'll move on to the minutes from November 9th. Anybody got any questions?
Make a motion, we approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll abstain.
Because he was absent.
Because I was excused.
Yes, it's written.
Okay, financial report. The vouchers have been signed by the board. In the general fund, total price of $37,364. 52. In the highway fund, $103,816.23. And nobody has any questions about the vouchers. Somebody make a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion that we accept and pay the vouchers.
A second.
Roll call.
Reichert,
Aye.
Douglas,
Aye.
Strozel.
Aye.
Brixey,
Aye.
Evans,
Aye.
We do have a budget transfer. This is that time of year. We had to make up for $49,000 that we spent in the ambulance fund, $30,000 to the IT fund. We're going to be putting $200 in the central mailing for postage. Building personnel, that's the maintenance around here. We spent a little more money and we needed a little more than what we budgeted. And justice contractual and court clerk needed some more money for a total of $81,954. We're taking the money from sales from equipment, some building contractual. Now, sales of equipment is $14,075. The building contractual is $15,000. Contingency is $40,000. And the parks contractual, we took $7,000 out of that. And workers' compensation, $5,829 for a total of $81,954.
What was the amount to IT, did you say?
30.
30 grand?
That was Hayfley
Okay,
for
thank you.
the broadband.
I make a motion that we approve the budget transfers.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Okay, so now I also have received the town clerk's monthly report. As far as the supervisor's report, I have nothing else. If anybody has any questions? If not, we'll move on. Assessors committee?
I had something and I wrote it down. I don't have it with me, so let me try to remember what it was. Oh, yes, I do remember. Huh. Denise has just been busy. She's been getting the numbers in from different bank escrow companies, and she's just verifying that everything is correct on them so that when we go to process the bills in the end of this month, that it'll be a smooth process for her and Carol.
Oh, good. Just what we want. All right, well, that sounds pretty simple, Patty. If nothing else, we'll move on to buildings and grounds. I
don't have anything.
Yeah, so our lights have been fixed outside. That's
Oh,
all I-
even this one?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I don't think, we do have some urinal problems in that, or toilet problems in that men's room, and it's just a matter of getting some help, and we're gonna take that toilet out and put a whole new system in, because we just can't seem to get it working properly.
Make sure you get a handicap one.
Yep, that's correct. That's just all I can think of at buildings and grounds.
Is that hallway accessible for them to get in there?
Yeah, they can get
Oh,
it
yeah.
in there easy enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was wide enough.
Code enforcement. He didn't hand us any report. No reports. as everyone knows, he's gonna be moving on at the end of this year. And the town will be appointing a new code enforcement officer in January. Justice Department?
I don't have anything. I noticed in the last minutes, there were some changes in there, so.
Yeah.
And the court clerks and stuff, so
I've been seeing them twice a week and they seem to be doing fine and there's all that, as far as I know.
that's what we want. Good.
We're moving right along. How's the mowing on the cemeteries?
Done for the year.
Yeah. And I think we've brought it up before, that we are gonna work on that contract for next year.
Get a hold more.
I think we need, I think we should get it mowed a little more. And we did budget for a little more of that.
Now we'll have a drought next year.
Which is, yeah, but I'd rather be safe than sorry than have to have the guy call me all the time and say, oh, this needs to be
The
done.
drought, won't mow as much, so.
So, okay, we'll move on to the highway.
I was over to talk to Kevin today, but he's here we got a few things to talk about.
Nice.
We'll start with the fuel pump system. Francis Smith and Sons, I have a hell of a time saying that, I don't know why. For a total price of $12,150. Jim brought it to my attention, and I'll get a hold of him tomorrow and get some clarification and make sure that it is a new pump. Pretty self-explanatory what I presented to you guys here. We'll be keeping the tanks. The tanks, are in good enough shape. It's basically the pumps and some of the hardware he's gonna have to change to, the actual plumbing portion of it, and some of the electrical will have to be changed a little bit, the conduit and such like that.
So, with this system, it will provide what each truck,
Yeah,
how much fuel it gets out?
yeah. At the end of the month, you take a thumb drive out, plug it in, take it back into the office, plug it into the computer, and he'll give me a program, to put on my computer, and it'll just download everything right into it. The other one that the guy was talking about is like a digital daily, it was Wi-Fi this and all kinds of crazy stuff that, in my eyes, we just didn't need.
Bigger than what we needed.
More
Yeah, it
things-
was
more things to go
what
on,
he was
too.
presenting was more geared towards like a retail business, like a gas station or something of that nature, where we just would monitor it every day,
So they're either gonna be card operated or key operated?
card.
Card.
Yeah, each vehicle will have a card, and then there'll be a PIN number per vehicle. And he said, a lot of people, what they do is, instead of a PIN number, they do a mileage number.
Which probably would make
Yes.
sense.
Yeah,
I'd rather see
I
that.
didn't get into a lot of detail on how that would work.
So that's being nice, being a thumb drive, you'd be able to download that right on your computer.
Right
And then
out, yeah.
every month you could turn in a fuel report for
Yeah.
each truck.
Yep. Well, for the whole system, and each truck will be included, yeah.
Your
Each
gas is
truck.
gonna be the same.
Yes.
Oh, so this is also
This
gonna,
control is gonna do both of them,
oh, nice.
yeah.
Gas and diesel.
Kevin, you said that the software is something that they're including, or it's downloadable?
He said that he put it on the computer and you just plug and play.
You may want to have that added onto the,
Okay.
just so.
Let me
I'd
write,
hate for a last second,
let me write some of that down. Hold on one second.
had that happen once too many times.
I really don't wanna do that one.
So this is a contract right here. Would you like me, when we vote on this, to sign this, or should I wait till you get a clarification on the existing fuel pump system?
I think just sign it, and then if anything changes, then he can reject it.
Yeah, and I've got
If the price
the
goes
original
up
here,
or so.
Bill, if you wanna sign this one. What you have is a copy.
Okay.
What's he talking about this current pulsar on the gas point? What's the pulsar? What's that?
It's what will tell which pump to turn on. And I guess the Keytrol unit does that now.
Yeah.
But his system, you gotta have a pulsar, you'd have to have a pulsar to which one you were charging, or energizing, or whatever, is how he explained it to me.
So each one of them ones there now, but you put the key in and turn it,
That's the
that's
pulsar,
the
that's,
pulsar.
yeah.
Okay.
I know I'm pretty happy with it. We need to get that
Well, it needs to
taken
be
care
done.
of. We've got an issue over there and I don't want to be getting in trouble for it. If nobody else got any questions, if somebody would make a motion to accept this.
I move we accept the bid to redo the gas pumps and the diesel pumps.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Reichert,
Aye. Whoops.
Douglas,
Aye.
Strossel,
Aye.
Brixey,
Aye.
Evans.
Aye.
Alright, secondly, I give you a sheet, at the top of it says here, State Office of General Services. If you look, second column, second vertical column.
Tioga.
Horizontal column, I should say. You'll see Tioga, that's the price of rock salt this year. They're doing some, before it was each township in the county, now it's just a countywide charge. The escalation price, which is fuel price, last year they were doing a weekly increment, they would adjust every Monday. This year it's every day. So, right
Wow.
today, it was 44 cents. So,
44 cents per ton?
per ton. Yep,
Updated daily now.
updated daily. So, last year, I think, what did I tell you, Jim? 56.20, I think was the highest we paid with escalation price last year.
And right now you're saying it's how much?
57.44.
$57.44 per ton.
Yeah.
Correct.
Wow. On top of the $57 per ton that we have to pay.
No.
No.
Oh, so it's
It's
740.
just 44 cents more.
In addition.
Okay.
It'll fluctuate daily.
Yeah, all right, now I'm catching on. I was not hearing you right.
Give me a penny for a second.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
Well, that $57 is locked in for all.
Yeah, that's a locked-in price. And like I've said before, this is the only thing that OGS does, that you tell them how much you need for the year. We have to do that at the end of April, and this just came out a week and a half ago, so
What was your estimation for salt this year?
2,000 hasn't
2,000 tons.
changed in.
Okay.
I haven't changed it in forever, it's been a long time.
So can you go over and under without a problem?
We can go 110% over, and you have to take 70% off.
Okay.
And then it's really complicated, Patty. At 110%, there's a small price increase. Once you get to 130% over, then the price just basically named their price at that point. So,
I know in the past you accepted this, and of course, we have no other choice because it's the only place we get our salt from, but if somebody make a motion to accept the salt.
I'll make that motion.
Salt pricing.
Salt price bid with the extra
For the New York
charge
State bid.
daily.
A second for that, please.
Second.
And all in favor, or no, roll call?
Reichert,
Aye.
Douglas,
Aye.
Strossel,
Aye.
Rixey,
Aye.
Evans.
Anything else, Kevin?
Bill and I talked a little bit today. The county, was hit with COVID of recent. It put them in a bad position late last week for drivers. I talked to him a little bit about another part-time employee. We have one that's on the books, that has a CDL, and I know of another gentleman that may or may not, he doesn't want to work all the time, but he told me if we ever get in a bind, we'll let him know. I did not catch up with him today. I'll try to tomorrow. Local guy, very reputable. And then Bill and I talked about maybe hiring another person permanent, full-time. We got a resume, I believe you'd call this,
Mm-hmm.
from a gentleman. To me, it looks like, Jimmy and I looked at this, and it looked like he's a over-the-road driver. I'd have to bring him in and see if he's got any experience, and he was trained out in Arizona, make sure he's got some experience in driving in snow and slippery roads, before we throw him into that. But,
It
Something
snows
we
at the
need to
Grand
discuss.
Canyon though.
I just feel here's a gentleman who's looking for work by sending us a resume. And I think that if I think we should think about getting another employee. And I think that this guy would like to work for what we offer. Let Kevin make that decision.
Yeah, I agree, because we've really cut the workforce quite a bit
We
for
have.
several years.
A lot.
So back to the COVID thing, are we doing anything to help them out?
They pulled guys from the, what do I want to say, like the jail and that.
County workers already, you mean?
Correct.
Okay,
The two guys that take care of anyways, to make a long story short, we did help them out, Patty. We sanded from Blodgett Road to, Howard Hill on back West Creek. The rest of it they got.
Oh,
I think North Valley picked up a small little,
West Creek,
yeah, what'd they say?
backwards.
Oh, I'm sorry, West Creek Road, we did. I think Town and North Valley picked up a little bit, but Thursday, they were in bad shape.
okay.
And they didn't reach out to anybody until Thursday afternoon because it
After
got
they
worse.
realized.
Well, and it got worse, they sent 2 more people
Oh.
home. So then they were in real dire straits. So it worked out, we did maybe, I don't know, what was that, Jimmy, maybe 3 miles?
Was that all you done? Just was that?
Yep.
So you didn't end up doing straight corners then like you thought?
Nope, I didn't do any Straits Corners, I didn't do any at Coddington Road. I think that's the 3 that we talked about.
Right.
I think they're the only 3 that would affect us in our township.
Okay.
So we sprinkled some sand on 3 miles, if nothing else, maybe if God forbid we ever get hit, maybe they can help us, so.
Well, we're lucky it wasn't worse.
We were, it was, giving them a shot and they cleared themselves, so we're lucky there.
So they're back up and running again, or you don't know?
They aren't 100%, but they're getting better. So there's a couple guys that returned to work. There will be 1 guy returned today and 2 more tomorrow. So they're getting there. But I mean, I guess my question is, do you want me to pursue another full-time position, and what are your feelings about maybe another part-timer just to have on the books in case of?
I don't have a problem with it at all as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
So like, you said on call as needed for the part-timer?
Right. And basically we'd have to, get him down here and get the paperwork filled out, Patty.
Okay.
So he would be covered under our insurance and all that nonsense if I ever did have to call him in. And the only reason I would is if, dire situation where something popped up.
But you'll have to give him some training so he knows about
Oh, yeah.
roads and
Yeah.
stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
So is this something we need to get in the paper and
No,
advertise about?
I think we're fine. We've got some advocates. He's got some people in mind that asked him about the situation. I think we can just let him handle his part of the deal. Yeah. But always at least first start with the one that was a former employee with ours, because he's helped us out in the past, and
Yeah.
hopefully you would pick him first and.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
and he's already on the books.
Any yes, that's right. Okay.
Bill and I've talked in the past about getting some sort of a vehicle, for the code officer. Today we kicked around a couple of different ideas, maybe putting something out for bid, a used vehicle. We talked a little bit about maybe buying something off an auction. We're not sure. We didn't get a lot of time, but we're not sure exactly how that would work out logistically and legally and, the rest of that. Bill wanted me to get some numbers for him. The mechanic's truck, Jim's truck as we still call it.
What year is that?
2016. It's got 70,000 and change on it for mileage. For all new purposes, I don't think there's ever been anything go wrong with it. Has there, Jimmy? That you know of?
Not that I know of.
The reason we're throwing this out is because Kevin has looked and he can't really find a vehicle. There's none available, as you can tell by all the used car lots and new car lots. So, I mentioned to him about the mechanic's pickup truck, and Kevin also said in that conversation that, there are like 1-ton pickups out there. So I mentioned to him, why don't you replace the mechanic's truck, and then we'll move the mechanic's pickup truck over to the code for a while. And he
It's
thinks
just a
that's
half ton, isn't it?
No, it's 3/4.
3/4.
I think it's a light duty 3/4, isn't it? Yeah.
But the thing is, that vehicle's there. Now we're upgrading a piece of equipment in the highway department and moving this down for training purposes, actually, is something to try out because we've never done that before. I thought it was a great idea. Plus, some trucks are available.
You haven't heard the price yet.
No.
That's what I was just gonna
Let's
say.
be on the state bid.
Price, so.
Because, well,
Yeah.
but our lease is due early next year, and I've been already going to dealerships because they told me to, and every dealership was telling me, wait until April, the prices should plummet in April.
Okay.
Every place that I've gone has told me that.
Okay, that's good to know.
Tell him, Kevin, our price won't, because we go for a state bid, hopefully.
That's,
Yeah, and I was actually, Jimmy knows what this price is. I was a little shocked by this. $48,275.
for a 3/4 ton.
No.
Or is that a 1 ton? 1 ton.
Is that bare bones?
Bare bones. Basically, the carbon copy, and I just called one dealer just to get an idea. Carbon copy of what I'm driving now, just instead of a 3/4 ton, it's a 1 ton jump.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Dodge.
Yeah, there's nothing.
This is for next year's budget anyway, so I just wanted everybody to know what we're working on. And, we could move today if we wanted to, but
I think we ought to.
I think we ought to wait too, see if the
Yeah.
prices
Yeah.
come down.
because otherwise we wouldn't pay for it till next year's budget anyway.
Yeah.
So speaking of vehicles, did we end up the bids that we had out for,
Yes,
we got our money and everything for them?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And did they come in more than you thought, or?
Yeah, the truck. Oh, shoot. Do you remember what the truck was?
14,000 or something.
Yeah, 14,000 and change for both of them, Patty.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think we took it all, $14,075.
Oh, was that part of the transfer from that revenue code?
Yep.
Got ya.
Yeah, I want to say the truck was 5375. Does that sound right, guys?
For both, okay.
Somewhere's in there.
Yeah, it
Way
was,
more than it was worth.
yeah, way more than what I thought it was worth, Betty.
Especially without the Cadillac converters.
Nobody else has any questions? That's all I have for this evening.
I do have one other question.
Yeah.
I'm digging through on top of my desk today and, did we get signs for, West Stevens Hill Road or whatever the name of that road is and Dry Brook Road?
Yes,
They're in and installed?
yes.
Yay. Thank you.
Yep.
How are we making out on a low boy?
Not good. Not good. I talked to a wholesale company again, down in the Carolinas. I believe it was South Carolina. Don't hold me to that. They won't deliver. I contacted Tracy Road Equipment. He's gonna get back to me. And I also talked again with Syracuse Trailer Sales, STS. He's gonna get back to me too. There's not a lot of demand for 40-ton twin axle. I was telling Jim, if you want a 60-ton quad axle with lift axles and all this fancy stuff for $110,000, they're out there. It's like, right now, it's like buying a half-ton regular cab pickup truck. It's impossible to find. They're gonna look around. STS said he's gonna write one up in an order and see what it comes back as priced. He said, I can't even give you a price right now. So he's supposed to get back with me.
So we were thinking brand new from the get-go on that?
More
Or
than
that's all
likely,
there is?
yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to buy somebody else's problems.
Okay.
So I will keep you updated on that.
Kevin,
Yes.
I'm sorry to tell you about this, but there's a pothole up my road that you can't see it because there's water and it's almost an axle breaker.
All right, I'll paint it orange tomorrow so you can see it.
Because I had red paint
Paint the
on it
water.
myself.
Yeah.
Put a diving board
I'll
on
put
there
some dye
for
in
you.
the water and paint a circle around it.
Do that, but they were doing that in Dryden. They were painting red fluorescent paint around the hole so you could see it, which was very nice of them. Smart ass.
I thought I'd give you a solution to your problem.
Well, if you
I'll
get,
come up and take a
You
look.
want to know where it is? It's right past, you know where Smiths are? I'll tell you real quick. You know where all the camper and the crap is on the right?
Oh, I know the one you're talking about,
Right,
yeah.
yeah, you go to that house that they're selling, it's up on the hill, the really nice house, right past there.
The really nice house.
Well,
Okay.
it looks nice, it's a cabin kind of house. Smart ass, jeez, you're full, Kevin Baker tonight, aren't you?
well, now we got that, so let's move on to the dog control. Mr. Evans?
All right, so we have our report from Denise. We had 6 dog complaints, 6 dogs running at large investigations, 3 lost dogs reported, and 1 found dog reported, and she submitted 53.3 miles. Let's see, there was an inspection done. The inspection report was completed on 12/2 from the Department of Ag and Markets, and everything checked out fine. We got a satisfactory rating. So that was
Now,
good.
is that at her place or are we talking Stray Haven?
This would be Stray Haven, I believe.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to
Yeah.
verify.
And then finally, we have the new contract for Stray Haven was to take effect on January 1st, 2022. And the fee is going to $150 for Stray Haven's services for each dog so seized and delivered by the dog control officer, peace or police officer on behalf of the agency of the town. So
That went up pretty significantly from last year, didn't it?
if we recall from years past, it goes based on the number
It's
of
like a
dogs.
3-year
Yeah,
aggregate or something.
the average, and
I think the highest.
so it could go down, it can go up.
I think the highest we paid is 300, I think.
Oh,
at
really?
one time.
I want to
Okay.
say 3 years ago, I think
Yeah,
it
it was
was
a while
back.
close.
So we're still well under that. That's good.
Yeah. So,
Are you making a motion to accept the,
so I will make a motion that we accept the Stray Haven contract for $150 per dog fee.
I'll second that.
roll call?
Aye.
Becker? Let me see. Douglas?
Aye.
Estrosa?
Aye.
Rixey?
Aye.
Evans?
Aye. And that's all that I have for dog control.
Okay.
Awesome. Not ready for EMS updates yet.
So I'll just keep running.
Yeah. Yeah, because we did report on what Curtis last month, if I remember right. We had a little report from him, but we don't have to bring it up again today. Okay, planning board?
All right, so at the planning board meeting, a couple of things. Ken Kafka would like to go to training in New York City in February as part to utilize their budget, but the board has to approve his travels. Let's see, they talked about the laws and ordinances that we have on the books that I know it's been brought up before, and the planning board has gone through making some edits to bring some up to current standard and keeping with the update to how they're formed and everything. So they are looking into that. Robin Beebe is compiling a list together to present to the planning board for next year as something to work on amongst other projects. They discussed the Amen Solar Farm. So many years back, we had the solar farm project out off Wrigleyville Crossing and 96 at that corner there, way back where it wouldn't be seen. Never was built due to the fact that the governor changed the credits and all this other stuff. Well, since then, the company has been sold, and the size apparently has changed, and they also moved it apparently. So the question is, does it need to be presented before the planning board again and go through the whole process? So we are still getting details from Marty, but basically, if they could stay within the same plot that they originally had and it shrunk, it'd be fine. But if it goes any bigger or goes outside of any of the changes beyond what was approved by the planning board, it would need to go for a full review again. So that we're waiting to hear on that. Candy Ross asked me to mention to you, Carol, that she is not getting the Talk of the Town magazine. So and as a joke, they accepted my application for starting January 1, 2022.
Well, that's good.
Did you need any references?
I can use as many as I can get at this point. And that's all we have.
Nice. No other comments on the planning board? Now we'll move to the Board of Appeals.
Okay, Thursday they had a meeting for, I don't know, what was it for? It's not really a variance or
It was
anything.
a grievance.
A grievance, yeah. And they overturned the code officer's decision to rescind a certificate of compliance for a utility structure. And after talking with Palmer and doing a little bit more research, because it was a uniform building code issue, it wasn't a land use issue. I believe, and Palmer can clarify this as well, that the Board of Appeals really didn't have any authority to act on it. So if there's anything else,
Well, I
I just want to clarify so we don't do this again in the future is all.
I spoke with Jim briefly before the meeting tonight. I guess I'd be curious to see what theory they presented their case to the zoning board. I think if I had that, I could look into it a little bit more. But my initial thought from talking to Jim is that, the zoning boards, their purpose is to review the zoning laws and clarify any variances, whatever may be needed as it relates to the zoning. And the code enforcement officer is the one who has the authority to cite and prosecute code enforcement issues, right? And the proper procedure for that would be if there's a code violation somewhere, he would then cite that person for a code violation or do whatever he needs to do under the town code. And then he would ultimately prosecute that violation or citation in court. The defendant or landowner would then have an opportunity to have their day in court and fight that citation or violation. The judge would ultimately make a decision. And if they didn't agree with that at the end of the decision, then there's an appeal process for the judge's decision. Whatever, I think you mentioned like a grievance issue, that may be different, and I'd probably want to just see what the application looked like in terms of how they applied to have the zoning board review this, and then from there I could look into it more and give a better answer.
Yes, because we use the town laws and everything to make our decision based on the fact that when he revoked it at that time, the time he issued that certificate of compliance, the person was in compliance. There was no errors or incomplete work to be done. It was done. And so he wasn't violating any rules, if you will, at that time. What he did after that, there's no bearing on that certificate of compliance because that was for the original permit, which was for the pole barn with the dirt floor and poles. And Steve, please correct me if I'm wrong here. And that's what we decided it on. Because the building permit was issued for a pole barn, non-residential, with a dirt floor. The certificate of compliance was issued for that. On that date, it was in compliance. So anything that happens after that date, because there was no errors or incomplete work per the permit and compliance, then would be a stop work order, not a revoking of the actual permit or the certificate, excuse me.
Right, so he should have just followed a different process.
Correct.
I think the question Jim has is who has the authority to make those decisions?
Well, our town law says we do.
Right, so that's what I
For
was
land use, but this was not land use.
No, it's not how it's interpreted.
yeah, so that would just be some kind of.
Because basically what you're gonna do is take away the authority of the code enforcement officer to do his job.
Well, and he was.
And he has the
taking
authority
of
to
the
rescind
owner.
a certificate of compliance.
Yeah,
So,
probably is.
I just want
It
clarification.
probably is a good idea to clarify this issue because that could be a scary precedent to set where other, town people may come forward and try to fight certain issues with that. You just don't want to start getting a pile of cases come in front of you for every code issue that's out there. So I would just want to kind of look and see, what law you went under to decide that. And then I think if that's the case and that's what the law says, then that's definitely the decision or conversation you guys would want to have and see if that makes sense to continue, or if it's the way everybody agrees it should go, then it would just continue. But yeah, I would just want to look at it a little bit more and just get on the same page as everyone.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
May I approach?
Sure.
Not too
This
close.
is the New York State town law that we used to make the determination.
Okay.
And it says we have the authority to revoke, to reverse, to affirm wholly or partly any order or decision or determination of the code enforcement officer.
For land use.
This doesn't say that.
No, but it does that under your Board of Appeals, job description, what you're there
Yeah,
for.
but this is the town law.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get into it now, but we'll let Palmer
Well, the
review this.
basis for the decision was that there was a lesser remedy that did not deny the applicant the use of his property. And since we, by state town law 267B or B1, have the authority to reverse the decision of the code enforcement officer.
Actually, it's the zoning officer, you have the authority.
This says, by the administrative official charged with the enforcement of such ordinance or local law, which would be our town of Candor local law 2017-5. and there was a lesser remedy that could have been used without denying the applicant the continued use of his property. We reversed his decision to rescind the certificate of compliance and also ordered that he issue a stop work order, which would have achieved exactly the same thing. So we did not, in any way, shape, or form, usurp the authority of the code enforcement officer. We did not overturn the building code. We followed New York State town law for boards of appeals.
My initial look, right, and I think what Jim's maybe saying is, I think this fits for if somebody's here to enforce town ordinances or laws, but Jim's saying because of building code issue that maybe
It's
that
a
doesn't
uniform
fit the
building code
statute.
issue.
I don't know the answer to that yet. I think I'm just trying to kind of put everything together, but I think that's what he's saying. And I see what you're saying, that if there's somebody who makes a decision in the town, there's gotta be a process to appeal that determination. But I guess the question is whether the building code falls under that. Is that what you're saying?
We didn't
Well, there's an
change the
appeal
building code.
process for the uniform code to the state
Right.
for code officials.
We did nothing that affected the building code and its applicability. We determined that the code enforcement officer could have made a different decision. We reversed the decision that he did make and ordered that the other decision, the lesser remedy, be applied to the applicant.
Yeah,
It has
maybe if
nothing to do with building
maybe,
code.
and you do a written decision for that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe if I could look at that at some point,
I'm sure we could provide you with the whole
Yeah.
file.
that'd be great.
Well, I have, but it's what you sent out, Norma, right?
I gave every board a
I'll
copy,
forward it
plus
to
there's
you.
one in our file.
I'll forward it
Yeah,
to you.
because, yeah, I mean, I think I get what you're saying, I get what Jim's saying, and probably makes sense to get it squared away.
Yeah, I just
but-
want clarification. I don't care.
No, that's what made this such an interesting case. It's the first time since we've had a board of appeals that
Yeah,
there's been a request for determination or of interpretation of the code enforcement officer. Everything else has all been area variances. So it was real interesting.
nice.
Can I ask a question? So basically, you're just saying that the code enforcer chose the wrong box to check, so to speak, and you couldn't do anything but do what you did to reverse that at the time?
Well, we could have agreed and just let it go on, but.
Well, no, I mean, but because he was, I don't wanna say wrong, because wrong sounds wrong, but he just chose to, he didn't do what procedure he was
Let
supposed
me,
to
let
do?
me give you an analogy.
Okay,
A sledgehammer was used when a ball peen hammer could have done it.
got it, yeah. Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
And I agree with that.
Fair enough,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we took away the sledgehammer and said, use the ball peen.
That's all I have on the Board of Appeals.
So do you have anything else exciting to talk about that?
You did mention at the last board meeting that you had some links for training, some websites.
Oh, was that for the sexual harassment you're talking about? Yes, through NYMER. Did we need to do that?
We would like, I have a couple of people on the board that would like to have them, so they could do it if you could afford.
Couldn't work one out with Steve? I thought,
Well, these pesky appeals keep coming up.
I apologize for that.
No, no, no. We've had 2 sessions preempted for appeals.
Okay. So, yeah, let me find that out, find them and I'll get them over to you. And I don't know when they're gonna be available again. But like I said, let me check on it.
Right, we just wanna make sure you check all our.
You have 2 that need it?
With that?
You have 2 or a couple?
I have at least one person, maybe 2, that
Okay.
want to do it.
All right, let's see what let me see what we can find. I'll work on that tomorrow. Okay. Nothing else? We'll move on to old business. And I had a resident call me the other day about the cannabis and the marijuana situation, and she didn't see it in our minutes. I gotta believe she didn't go back far enough when we were talking about not opting out of that. And so I think we've decided that, and I've talked that, we'll make a motion that we are gonna be in, and so it'll be on record, and move on from there. And not only are we in, but the village is also in also.
What's that actually mean?
That means that, you could have a cannabis store in the town, but it has to be so many feet from the town or high school. Or
Like
any
an adult
school.
store, same kind of
Yeah.
regulation.
And the biggest thing is that, we'll receive sales tax revenue
I
from it.
understand, yeah.
And
If we don't act on it,
if we don't act on
it
it,
just happens.
And
anyway.
which
It
is-
happens.
and what you had to have a public hearing and all that to vote on that, to opt out, and it had to be done by December 31st. So like I said, we talked before and we said we're all on board and,
We just want to get it officially in the minutes.
so if you would move on that, Patty?
So I'll make a motion that we stay opted in for the MRTA
Can't.
cannabis
Regulations.
regulations. Thank you.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There, now we'll have that under record. I don't have anything else under old business. We'll move on to new, which right off the bat is a 22 Straight Haven contract. We
already
did that very quick. Year-end transfers. In the last couple of weeks here, the bookkeeper may have to make transfers to make her books balance at the end of the year. So if somebody could approve the bookkeeper to make those.
I make a motion, we allow the bookkeeper to make the year-end transfers.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'm just kind of slowing down for you. Y'all set? Okay. Year-end vouchers, December 31st, between 10 and noon.
The 31st or the
December
30th?
30th.
Okay.
Did I say 31st?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 30th. I don't think we need that under a motion. I just want to get that approved, but everybody's nodded their head that they could be here anytime during that day. Stop in, sign the vouchers.
Between 10 a.m. and noon, right?
Correct. And if it's afternoon, we can take a little bit. Just give Gene a call or something. Jim won't be here because he'll be out of town. So.
And we might want to work it. Well, I guess we'll be all right. Never mind. As long as we have masks on, we're all together tonight.
Yep. Okay, is everybody on board with that?
My phone.
I have down here the schedule of the organizational meeting for January 4th, but Ed has informed me, and I forgot that that's planning board night. If you guys don't mind, I don't mind doing it that day still, maybe just start at 6 instead of 6:30.
Your
That-
meeting starts at 7.
The meeting starts.
Oh, we'll be done more easily before an hour.
Yeah,
So 6 p.m.
Does that sound good with everybody?
That works
on the
for me.
4th.
Mhm.
Everybody but Jim. Okay,
Somebody needs to inform Nancy of that.
Oh.
yes, yes. Okay, the training school. I don't know, other than what anybody else but Ken would like to attend, and if they are gonna have that. So we have to, and I know that we have to book the rooms down there too, so.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's still gonna go with everything that's
No,
going
yeah,
on.
I agree,
But it definitely needs to be planned.
yeah. And then, like I say, the rooms should be booked also.
Right.
So I guess we'll work on that. Right now, just Ken, as far as I know, is going, and what we'll do, and I don't know if Endicott usually gets a bus and everybody goes down on that in the past. I don't know if they still do that or not. But that's something that can be checked on. Okay. I did get an email from Tioga Opportunities that they have received funding from the New York State Home and Community Renewal. And they're accepting applications for manufactured and mobile home replacement program. And I just wanted to make everybody aware, and I'm going to put it on the board out front. And it looks to me like it goes by income eligibility. So I just wanted to let everybody know.
Is this the home replacement, or is
Yeah.
this just work done? Because
I think it's a home replacement.
And that's from Tioga County.
Yeah.
Good.
It looks to me more like a HUD situation.
Yeah.
Should we post that on our website as well, Bill?
Oh,
Somebody scans it, they can, you can,
I could probably get this scanned over to you.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah,
thank you.
all right. Okay, I don't see anything else on here, so I'll leave privilege of the floor. Does anybody have anything to, well, Rob, you've been sitting in here, and we haven't seen you in months. You got a little, any kind of update or anything?
Still waiting on Bridge New York. They haven't made an announcement yet, so,
Okay.
just talking with Bridge Engineering Company. They thought that we would hear at the end of November if Prospect Valley was successful, but they haven't announced the award yet, so hopefully soon.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully like before spring, so we can get something worked on that next year. Okay.
I would like to say one thing. I just want to say it has been an absolute pleasure and honor being able to serve in for the remaining time for George Williams. Thank you to everybody, and I look forward to continuing to serve the town in back to my old position on the planning board. And but it has been a very nice change of pace and seeing some of the differences between the boards, but being able to make the connections between the boards. And as I've said previously, I think it's something that we should do between all three boards, hold a meeting once or twice a year with all of us to connect and make sure that we're all aligned with where we want to see the town move. So with that, thank you.
Well, thank you, Ed.
Yeah, you give us a lot of contributions here, so appreciate it.
Okay. If nothing else, Patty? Executive session?
Sure.
You want to make a motion to go to executive session for personnel
For
reasons?
personnel reasons, yes, I make a motion, we move to executive session. Is that how that goes?
That sounds good. And somebody said.
You know, the paint won't work unless you clear all the water out of the road.
I am going to end this and
Hey,
We'll
that's
see you next
house
month.
compared to the trailers or the other.
Don't you have to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Well, yeah.